Hi, my name is Eric Fischer. I'm a senior economics and political science major, and my poster is entitled Analyzing the Variability in Cyber Attack Involvement, a Social Network Analysis. Cyber attacks are a growing area in the national security literature, but as of yet there has been no systematic study of cyber attacks. My paper seeks to explain the variation in the involvement of nation states in cyber attacks. I hypothesize that as the interconnectedness of a state in the international system increases, so will the propensity of that state to be involved in cyber attacks. I devise a social network that I calculate from different measures of centrality and use that as the independent variable in the analysis. The regression models that I ran indicated a statistically significant relationship between cyber attack involvement and interconnectedness in the international system. So my research question, as I said before, was what explains the variation of cyber attack involvement in nation states? And I hypothesized that as the interconnectedness of a state in the international system increases, so would their involvement in cyber attacks. And so my dependent variable in the analysis was the total percentage of cyber attacks that a nation state was involved in. The independent variable of interest was the interconnectedness of a state in the international system. And my control variables were the internet penetration rate, or the percentage of citizens in a state that had internet access, and the total number of internet users in a nation state. And so this graph right here is what's called a social network, and it takes into account how important states are in the international system. States in the center are states that are very connected in the international system. You're looking at states like India, Russia, Germany, and the United States. And as we move out towards the periphery, we're going to see states that are geographically, politically, and economically isolated from the rest of the world, like North Korea, Sudan, and small island states. And so I ran a multiple likelihood regression model using the program UCINet. And what I found was that 3 of the 4 measures of centrality were statistically significant. At the 0.05 level, we found that between the centrality, eigenvector centrality, and closest centrality were all statistically significant at that 0.05 level, with an R-squared value of above 0.6 in all 3 cases. So we're explaining more than 60% of the variation in cyber attacks with these measures, with the measure of involvement. As I said, the regression results indicated that interconnectedness of a state in the international system is significant in the total number of cyber attack involvements. Using a point estimation analysis, I found a couple of peculiarities in the results. I found that states that had very large militaries, the regression model tended to underestimate their cyber attack involvement pretty significantly, and states that had smaller militaries, it tended to overestimate their cyber attack involvement. So taking a step back and looking at those results in contrast to my regression results, I found that I viewed cyber attacks as a social and economic phenomenon, but in fact, there appears to be a large military component that my regression results didn't take into account, and that further studies ought to take into account. So it appears, like I said, that cyber attacks may have a military component as opposed to the economic and political component. One further takeaway, rather than the results of my regression, is the use of the social network analysis in a regression model to explain phenomenon. A lot of times when social scientists look at regression models, they look at GDP per capita, population, levels of education, levels of poverty, income inequality, and they use those tools to try to explain different phenomena. The social network analysis, or the interconnectedness of states or interconnectedness of individuals, gives social scientists a new tool to look at different relationships in the world around them. Thank you very much.